Even if it went, it would have been used for development. People would have built structures that develop. What's the difference?
But it's stealing public land, because you're not supposed to take public land. I'm not supposed to know you, Mutegi. Nikwambie ni rafiki yangu ni mkubwa, kuja nikupatie tuweka tuwili pale. Nothing. I mean, just because I know you, just because you're a senior person, I give you public land. What is the public getting out of it? You know, it was not sold to them. This is public land. Why should it be given to individuals because they are who and who is who? Just because they are connected. That we call corruption.
There's, you remember Anne from Mutua who asked a question in relation to your dispensaries. She says, thanks for the response, but it's true no drugs have been supplied so far for dispensaries, and also AIE for last quarter and this quarter are not yet released. Please, I request our governor to look closely on health sector, especially Mutua.
I'll look into that. I'll be surprised because I just held a meeting with the Minister of Finance and I look at disbursement of medication, because we buy medication from KEMSA and everything, and I've not had a case at all, because people call me. I have the people campaigning for me on the ground, and they're the first ones to call me. Imagine Vunjika, kuna pipe imebust, hii hospitali daktari hayuko. So I've not had that case, but I will investigate. But thank you, Anne, for that, and I'll make sure that I follow it up, because it is your right to get that service. And if there's somebody down the line, the old people you're talking about, the ones who've been in the system, sleeping on the job, then we can let them sleep at home. They will come to work.
There was a lot of hue and cry in many other counties about taxation. The taxes were imposed. I don't know how you've dealt with it.
Oh, we also have hue and cry in Machakos. But the way we did in Machakos, we did not introduce new taxes. We harmonized the existing taxes. So, for example, we looked at how much are market stalls paying across. And we said we harmonized so that there are different rates for. We took what was the highest, so we never introduced anything. We looked at what was the highest, and we said the highest is what is going to be the highest, and look at what the lowest. So we said the highest will be for the urban areas, the lowest will be for the peri-urban areas. So we harmonized. Instead of somebody in a small village paying a high rate like somebody in an urban area, we said these are the urban areas, about 9 of them, and the peri-urban, these are their rates. So that's what we did, we harmonized. And then the other thing we did is said, for example, border drivers, instead of paying 10 shillings a day, so every day paying 10 shillings a day and getting a receipt to operate, we said we'll give you a receipt for 300 shillings a month, which adds up to the same. So 300 shillings, instead of paying every day, you get a permit, that is a monthly permit, so that you don't have to keep on running around and you're done, which adds up to the same thing. So when you see people demonstrating, we've added rates, we don't understand that 10 shillings a day times 30 equals 300 shillings. The only place where we've added, and it's to recover, is in sand collection. Tulifanya mahesabu. We looked at transporters, we had people come, we did research. A transporter buys sand on the ground at about 2,000 shillings from an inch to fill, 2,000 shillings, which includes labor and everything. When they took 2,000 shillings, they were coming and paying maybe 700 shillings or so. I can't have the figures, whatever. Then they drive that truck to Nairobi, and it is sold in Nairobi for 35,000 shillings. So even with fuel, they are making a clean profit of 30,000 shillings one trip. They make about 2 to 3 trips a day. So a transporter is making 90 to 100,000 shillings per day. And so what we said is this: instead of the 500, 600 they're paying, we asked for one trip, the money you make per trip, you pay us in Machakos per month. So he said, if you're this tonnage, pay us 35,000 shillings in a month as you collect the sand, as you harmonize, which is still very, very low. But we said, let's start slowly. So that's what we're doing, because we have to protect our rivers, and we want that money to come back. They have opposed it. They have gone to court. They're saying we're eating into their profits. We've said, actually, they're making us angry. Now, next year, because we went to public consultation, we may actually up it to 70,000. They have said, well, if you do that, we'll go to Kajiado, we'll go to Makueni, we say, okay, good, go. Go to other places, because as it sits right now, we have an environmental problem in Machakos because of sand harvesting. Go away for 5 years, and we can actually recover our riverbeds. We can actually build our dams properly. We can actually secure our environment when you're not here. Because the money you're giving to the people actually is not helping them. It's so little. We'd rather build a factory and employ these young people who get 20 shillings per lorry.
Let's talk a bit about party politics. Of course, Wiper Party elections are slated for April.
Yes.
What should we expect?
We in Wiper want to promote democracy, and we want all candidates, regardless of where you are, to be able to vie for any position that you want, and let the delegates start. And that's what we agreed, that everybody has a right to vie for any position that they want in party politics. We do believe that it is important for the party to galvanize itself, and its home base is Ukambani, but the party needs to go out more to other regions of this country. We have governors from Tana River, we have, deputy governor in Nairobi, so the party is growing, so we want the party to actually grow and become bigger by bringing as many people on board.
There was a suggestion by Professor Kavitha Kibwana.
Yes.
That him and the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, they now leave it to younger people, and there was a backfire, and I don't know what you feel about that.
I totally agree. It's not about leaving. What Professor Kibwana said, he said that every society has to nurture future leaders. And he said that where he saw himself, his political life is in the twilight years. He's been there for a long time, and he mentioned other names. He said,
they call it Tanzania Kumatuka.
Kumatuka, yeah. Yes. So he says, so what plans do you have for 10 years from today? What plans do you have for 20 years from today in our region? Who are in a region that we can start nurturing them while we are still in power, so that when we retire, be in a position to take over leadership? Because a community without youth to take over, it vanishes and dies. That's what he said. And he mentioned myself, he mentioned Senator Mutula Kilonzo, he mentioned the MP for Kibwezi, my good friend Honorable Musimba, he mentioned others who said these are young people in politics. So let's sit down with them, teach them how the game is played, so that in the future, as we retire, we have other people also who can continue doing the work.
All right. Perhaps as we wind up, for those who missed the first part of what's happening or what is set to happen this Friday and over the weekend, perhaps you could just give us in brief what people expect.
We have built what is called the Machakos People's Park. It sits on 40 acres. It's a park with lush green lawns, which are mostly growing. We've put children play area. We have a Nyamachoma place. We have the only field amphitheater in Africa with a capacity of nearly 5,000 people. So we are going to have a family extravaganza, a 3-day extravaganza this love weekend. So saying from tomorrow, come to Machakos, entry is free. The whole of this weekend we have performances by the likes of Kidum, Sauti Sol, all the big musicians. On Sunday we also have a big family extravaganza. Christian Shusho from Tanzania, Gloria Muliro, Solomon Okubwa, Size 8, Jimmy Gate, all these popular musicians will be performing for free as we celebrate the revolution.
You're paying the musician?
Actually, we are not paying them. We're very lucky. We've gotten sponsors. And I wish to thank Safaricom, I wish to thank Ednet, I wish to thank East African Breweries, and many others who have actually sponsored. So all these expenses, bringing Christian Shusho here, has been taken over by Mnet. They are bringing her here. The money they're giving us is covering all these musicians coming, are being sponsored by Safaricom. They are paying for all their music instruments. All these other associated costs are being paid. GSK are paying for the children's area. So, sponsors have actually come on board. So the county is not spending money. That's why we're opening up for free, because somebody else has actually taken the cost.
Right. But there are some people who are hired, like the restaurants.
Yes.
They have hired places to cook and serve, which means you raise revenue through that side.
We are raising revenue. Every shilling that you spend at the park, the person cooking the food makes some money, the county makes some money.
All right. Want to take your final comment?
I think it's the right path.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All I can ask is, let's galvanize our forces together. In this country, we're very good at politicking. We're very good at pulling at cross purposes. Let us support the governments in place, may they be the national government or the county governments. Let us say that we've been given a new chance to to revolutionize the way we do things in this country. We join hands, we support each other for the people, we are all going to be better off in the long run. Thank you.
Your Excellency, thank you so much indeed for being
very much
on the Power Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.